I'm not going anywhere. Boris Johnson's message to his critics.
TV News with Lucrezia Millarini.
Good evening. Boris Johnson says he wants to continue as Prime Minister, brushing off the suggestion that his party's disastrous defeats in 2 by-elections last week were a source of personal shame. The PM, who was in Germany for a meeting of G7 leaders, is facing criticism from Tory MPs back home and a potential fresh effort to unseat him. But when questioned by our political correspondent Romilly Weeks in an exclusive interview about reports he's looking to stay in Downing Street for another decade, he didn't deny them. Well, just as G7 leaders were arriving in Germany, the relative safety of Ukraine's capital was shattered as a series of rockets struck, hitting 2 residential buildings. Ukrainian officials say as many as 14 missiles were fired by Russia, killing at least 1 person and injuring many more. From Kyiv, John Ray reports. At least 22 young people have been found dead in a nightclub in South Africa. The Prince of Wales is facing questions over payments he received from a former Qatari Prime Minister. It's reported some of the money, as much as €1 million in cash, was handed over in a suitcase. Well, Clarence House insists all correct processes were followed and that the money was paid to one of Prince Charles's charities. With the details, here's Geraint Vincent. Cricket now, and England are on course for a 3-0 series whitewash against New Zealand. The reigning world champions set the home side 296 to win. Tonight, with 1 day to play, they sit on 183 for 2. Chris Scudder was watching. And finally, as Glastonbury draws to a close later tonight, it was yesterday's headline act that had everybody talking. So Paul McCartney became the festival's oldest headliner, the 80-year-old wowing the crowds for 3 hours with an extensive back catalogue of hits and, as Vincent McAviney reports, with a little help from some legendary friends. What an amazing night that must have been. And that is it for now. I'm back with the late news at 10. Until then, enjoy your evening. Bye-bye. Hello again. Now the main headlines in London. A 36-year-old woman has died after being assaulted in Ilford in the early hours of this morning. A grass fire in Norbury needed 15 fire engines and 100 firefighters to be brought under control today. Transport for London has announced that motorists who drive in cycle lanes on roads managed by the transport body will be fined from tomorrow. A section of a residential road in Bexley Heath, swallowed up by a large sinkhole, will remain closed for up to 6 weeks, Bexley Council says. Sport now, and Chelsea's first summer transfer under new owner Todd Boehly could be a big one. They've been linked with Manchester United's Cristiano Ronaldo. Not long to go now until this year's Wimbledon Championships get underway tomorrow, and there are plenty of London hopefuls in all the draws this year. Finally tonight, sport can create memories which are supposed to last a lifetime. But for those who suffer from dementia, those memories can end up being forgotten entirely. Today, Surrey County Cricket Club invited people with dementia, along with their families, to the Oval for their match against Kent today for their first dementia-friendly match, which hopes with their approach will be taken up amongst other sports. Anna Geary has the story. Well, it's been a lovely day in the capital. Let's see if that weather is going to continue into next week. Here's James Wright with the forecast. That is all from the London team for now. We will be back, of course, with updates in Good Morning Britain. But for now, from all of us on the team, good night. Bye-bye.